Good evening, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Today I just want to give you guys just a quick update on a project I've been wanting to do for years now, and I have the time. I finally did it the other day. It took me about 2 days to get everything ripped out and put back together, and that's my network closet slash home entertainment closet for of course my network and of course my entertainment system in my bedroom. I want to give you guys just a quick walkthrough. Now, I'm not a network engineer. It is something I would like to go back to school for. I did have recently a career change, and now I don't have one, so I would like to try to maybe do that. I've always been very interested in tech and the internet and networking and computers, so I think it'd be a really good fit. But I want to show you guys what I did. Now, again, there's lots of things I don't know. My skill set when it comes to computers, tech, and networking is above average. It's above the normal person, but far from being a professional. So I'm going to show you guys what I did. If you have any suggestions or comments or questions, don't hesitate to, as long as you're respectful, I'm open here. So I want to walk you through what I have, what I've done, some of the issues that I've had, and just show you guys what it looks like now. I would love to have a rack unit one day, but in my home there's nowhere to put anything like that, and this closet works perfectly because it's such a shallow closet. Really the only thing you can put in here is like maybe even shoes or books. It's just kind of a closet they threw into the house probably because they had the room for it, and it's not really functional. But for a network closet, it works, and really with all the devices I have hooked up, it's the best scenario for my particular home. So let's turn the camera on what I have here. I'll walk you through everything. This is my upstairs hallway. This is basically a 3-door sliding closet. You can see the depth here is probably about 1 foot in shelving depth. You have 4 shelves, and of course the floor. And I'm going to walk you through what I did. So nothing was in this closet as far as connection. No cable line and no phone line. There is a phone line on this wall over here, and what I did is I just punched down through the studs and ran the phone line over down through the attic and into this closet. This feeds my 3-in-1 CenturyLink modem slash access point slash router. I've separated all those devices. If you're kind of have a basic internet setup, basically you'll have something like this from your internet provider, and it's a 3-in-1. It does the routing, it does the access point for your Wi-Fi, a few connections on the back, in this case 4 Ethernet connections, and of course your modem. So what I've done is I separate those things, and I originally separated that because as I started to get involved in smart home tech, the amount of devices I had connected to my network, which right now is close to 100 devices, no access point. And I say access point because that's the part that handles the Wi-Fi aspect of your network. No access point's going to handle that many devices. They say there's a theoretical limit of 256. You will never get that, and definitely not on something from your internet provider, and definitely not from something like the ASUS router slash access point that I spent $250 on, which ultimately didn't solve the problem. That thing started to drop connections when I got up to about 35. And so since then I've separated all those 3 devices. So let me just walk you through what I have. I'll try not to make this video too long-winded. I'll give you guys an idea of what I'm working with here. So this is CenturyLink modem slash router slash access point. I've disabled the routing capability and the access point capability. So all this is doing is functioning as a DSL modem right now. As far as the routing is concerned, I've disabled as impressive as it looks, all those antennas, I've disabled the Wi-Fi aspect on this router, and now all that's doing is handling the IP addresses and the routing on the network. Out of that right there, that's going to be fed for the Wi-Fi aspect of the network for the APs. That's going to be handled for 3 access points. One's an outdoor wavelength access point. The other 2 are Ubiquiti access points that are ceiling mounted. I've had the best luck with Ubiquiti. I believe that I've ran over 50 devices on one, and they just work a lot better than any other router or access point and I'm sorry to say router, they're not routers, they're strictly access points, and all they do is handle Wi-Fi. That's it. So I have 2 of those, and what I've tried to do is separate the house into 2 quadrants or 3 quadrants: backyard, left side of the house, or back side of the house, and then front side of the house. So in the bedroom here, I'll show you the access point in a second. I can't show you the one in the office, which is over there, ceiling mounted. I tried to pick a point in the house that is, before I had it in this space here, and I had the AP Pro mounted on the ceiling. And here, if you look, my neighbor's, outside this wall is my neighbor's house. And so really I was feeding half the signal out towards her driveway and her unit. So, and I wanted to get that signal basically back towards the back of the house, the bedroom. Beneath my bedroom is my kitchen and kind of garage. And so I want to have that signal for this access point. I'll show you guys that right now. Up on the ceiling, that's the Ubiquiti AC Lite. You can get the AC Pro, which is the one I have in the office. This one was a little bit cheaper, and for what I'm really doing with my network, I'm not doing anything, you know, I don't have multiple streaming going on, even though this device is fast enough to handle all that. The device, the AP Pro, definitely is going to give you more potential for higher speeds through that access point. But for me, it wasn't really a concern because anything I'm really streaming through Wi-Fi is really limited to the bandwidth on my internet, which is only 65 megabits a second. If I did have an internet connection that was faster than 300 megabits a second, I would have went with an AC Pro in here. But for where I live, it's going to be quite some time before we're ever over 100. So this is fine for what I'm doing with it. So, and in the bedroom, you have a lot of different devices. You have smart fireplace, Google Homes, casting devices that, you know, like the oh, actually, no. The casting on this TV, this is a Vizio 55. On this TV here, I have a NVIDIA Shield that's hardwired to gigabit internet for my streaming. Which a lot of the so if I'm streaming through that device to my TV off my network attached storage for my own digital content, you're getting the potential for gigabit speeds. For anything, same thing with the TV that's hardwired to a gigabit internet or 100 megabit connection because I don't believe the Vizio's Wi-Fi adapter goes over 100, but really anything coming through the Vizio TV is subject to the max speed of my internet. So 100 megs is fine. However, again, the NVIDIA Shield has the potential to really pull bandwidth from my network attached storage, so that's why it's hardwired to a gigabit internet switch. And just coming over to the closet here, excuse the mess, you can see I have you have a Blu-ray player, my printer, my fax, my scanner, of course a 5.1 Dolby Digital receiver, a Yamaha receiver which feeds a couple on-ceiling speakers throughout the house, which eventually I'll add in-ceiling speakers everywhere. And that's really about it. In-wall speakers, 5.1 Dolby Digital. They're really clean. You barely even notice there's a system in this room. And that's kind of how I like to keep stereo systems. I like things looking extremely, camouflage. I don't like to see all those components, but I do like them to look neat. So let's go back to the network closet again. CenturyLink modem. This is by Action Tech. For the routing process on the network, that's going through AC3200 ASUS router. Next to that, we have a 4 terabyte MyCloud Western Digital hard drive, which it stores all my music and movies, so I can stream those to any TV in the house. A Samsung SmartThings hub. This handles any of my Z-Wave devices, like a few of the lights that I have, and some of the locks. A mouse up there to control the security NVR. This is just an inexpensive kind of like portable cooler, portable fan / water cooling system. It's kind of like a makeshift air conditioner this company sent me. I never used it, and it's USB powered, so I just pulled all the filter out and the media. I never put water in it. It's got a kind of cool light that flashes, and I just use it as a cooling fan. So when the closet's closed, I leave it open just a little bit, and that allows it to blow some of that hot air out of the closet that the electronics produce. And that's just hooked right into a USB port. Beneath that, we have a Netgear 100 megabit fast port switch. And next to that, we have, I forget the name of the brand, I just got this. This is an 8-port gigabit switch. Next to that, we have a Finge box. What that does allows you to see exactly what's connected to your network via their web interface or your app. There's a lot of different things you do with it. I did a video review on that. Check it out. What's really cool about that device, it's a visual cue, or visual device. So if something connects to my network, it'll start to flash back and forth blue. If the internet connection drops, it'll turn orange. There's all different, color codes that let you know what's going on with your network, and you can tap into that from outside your network as well and have full control. You can kill the connection if you want to remotely. So of course, if you do that, you won't be able to, you have to come home to tap back into that manually, but I think, but again, it does a lot of different devices. Check it out. As far as what's hooked up to the gigabit switch, we have gigabit. The ASUS router is gigabit compatible, so we have gigabit Cat5e coming out of that into the 8-port switch, and anything that's gigabit compatible, and you'll have to look at what device you may have. So like my desktop, the computer in here that obviously isn't working properly now, all the access points, anything gigabit compatible goes into that switch. and then this switch feeds the 100 megabit switch. And then anything that's 100 megabit compatible as far as the network card is concerned, such as my Zomato NVR. This is 500 terabytes. This records all the surveillance cameras in the house. On top of that, we have a UMA digital phone system, which is also hooked up to this device right here, which is an Echo Connect. So when somebody makes a phone call and calls my Google, I have it set up with Google Phone. Yeah, Google Phone. So when somebody calls my Google number, that forwards to, and behind here is a Magic Jack. Let me show you down here. Two different phone systems. You have a Magic Jack and an UMA phone. So what happens is when somebody calls my Google Voice number, it'll forward to UMA, it'll forward to Magic Jack, it'll forward to my cell phone. All those devices ring at the same time. Then every Amazon Echo product I have in the house will ring, and you could just simply say, "Hey, Amazon, answer the call," and you can talk via speakerphone. So that's pretty cool. Or you can pick up any one of the devices, and you can also dial through those independently or call those numbers independently as well. If I want to just give out my home number, one of my two home numbers, one's home, one's business, I can do that, and they can call it directly rather than call my Google Voice number. You'll see two monitors here. One is hooked up, obviously having an issue with an older Gateway quad-core computer I have. I was going to use that because I bought a new computer for my office because this started acting up, and I thought I'd fix the problem, and I figured, let me use it in the closet just for extra storage. Obviously, it's not starting Windows, so something wrong with that as well. Hopefully I can get to the bottom of that, or I'll strip it and just use the parts or something else. Just an iView laptop that was sent to me by iView, just have it sitting in there. And on this monitor, this is actually being fed by the Zomato NVR, so you can see my security cameras on this screen. You can also use the mouse to individually click on any particular camera and get a full shot if you want to. And of course, this also feeds my 55-inch TV in the bedroom. So if I'm watching a movie, I want to check the security cameras, I can do that on my phone. I can get up, look in the closet, or I can just go right to one of the inputs, and this is being fed by the Zomato NVR. So you see the same picture on the 55. So what's cool about the Zomato NVR and the Zomato system is that it will feed a VGA out and an HDMI out at the same time. So pretty awesome. So that's really about it with my network closet. I cleaned it up pretty well. Behind here is kind of a mess. That's why I kind of use these monitors also to hide some of the wires back there where I didn't have them, kind of tied up all that well. There's only so much you can do. We have so many devices plugged in and hooked up. Unless you have a rack mount, this is probably as neat as you can really get it. And I'm pretty happy with it. It looks way better than it did before. And now when I open the closet and show somebody, I don't feel as embarrassed, And then just for the final touches, I added an LED strip to the top of the sheetrock there, and you can change the colors to whatever you want. I think it kind of gives a nice, tech factor there. I just got to turn off the upper light here, give you guys an idea. Yep. Hey Google, turn off the upstairs light. All right, there we go.
Turning upstairs.
And I'm sorry guys, I know some of you pissed off I didn't mute the Google, but oh well. You can, like I said, you can change the color to whatever you want. You can have it cycle through. I just think it looks really cool when you pop the closet open. Show somewhere. You have to get in there for whatever reason. I don't know. Like I said, I want everything to, anything that I do, I like to have it look pretty neat, pretty clean, and somewhat custom. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tried to keep it under 15 minutes. I didn't want to go into every single device I have in the house. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what I'm running with my network. I do have an extra 4 terabyte backup network attached storage that's hooked up to an ASUS wireless bridge downstairs, so I can pull files and add files to that as well through my network. I hope I get this computer working where it's usable. It's unfortunate because the computer worked so well for so long and then started acting up. Bought a new computer. And then I discovered what I thought was the video cards. I pulled out the video card and it seemed to work, and I did the updates today. There was like 168 updates, and this is where I'm at now. So hopefully I get that to work. I hope you guys like my network closet. I think it looks pretty cool, pretty clean. Hopefully one day if I ever get into a larger home with more room, I could have a rack set up. But for now, this is what I got. So, all right, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to ask. As always, email address is in the description. Links are in the description for any of this stuff. And, of course, if you have, you can always drop a comment as well. Guys, thanks for listening to me rant about, or not rant, but share my network closet. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. And you guys have a great evening. And again, if I can help in any way, do not hesitate to ask. All right, thanks guys. Have a wonderful evening and take care.